Hi Aries, here's a general look at your solar chart for March 2012, and every year at this time the Sun comes into the sign before yours, that's Pisces, and so it throws an emphasis on things going on in the background of your life, in your private life. So you could be beavering away at things in the background. You could be making yourself more available to others in a supportive role, because the house of Pisces in your solar chart, it also happens to be the house of higher service, of compassionate service. So really putting yourself out for others is the name of the game. But also I have to say that putting yourself out for yourself wouldn't be a bad idea at the moment either. And knowing where to draw the line in the sand, you know, because boundaries might be a bit of an issue. But you're also going to have a lot of energy pulling you outwards as well, which is more your favourite sort of a place, due to the positions of Mercury and Venus. So I could say that you're going to have, like the crow, one eye looking out and one eye looking in. So there will be this introspective feel this month, in fact all of the month, even though the Sun comes out of Pisces and goes into your sign, really lighting up all of your sense of self and self-identity and so on. It's going to swap places with Mercury, which is going to go into that background area from the 24th. So you're only going to have about 3 days in the middle where you don't have that pull in. Now these planetary energies, I mean, they manifest in a myriad of ways for us all, depending on our natal chart and where we are in our lives and our level of development and so many factors. But all I can do is give an example or two. So basically this is a sucking, pulling inwards on one hand, but also a projecting out and having to be perhaps all singing or dancing and quite sociable on the other hand. So there is a nurturing feel. So some of you might need to heal during this month. Some of you might need to be putting your feet up more, just at the very, very moment that that somehow or other you've got to meet outer commitments. So the trick, I guess, is just to make more space. You know, plan to make more space, to take downtime for yourself, healing time, nurturing time. Go in for practices which are going to help you before others, you know, can get through to you by email or the phone or Skype, or, you know, or just come into your mind, because memories could be coming up at the moment as well. Another way it can work is that this indrawing energy is taking you down into your memories, yes, the past, yes, but your subconscious, your dreams might get quite strong. This is a great transit for the artists among you, though, because this is triggering your imagination and giving you access to deeper material. But as the energies are already flowing in the direction of introspection and self-reflection, then this is a great time for meditation, yoga, tai chi, etc. Also, this is a great time for psychic development, developing your healing ability, which we all have, but we just need to know how to channel that light through. Another thing about this position of the Sun, and then followed by Mercury, is that it is an emotional area. It might mean that not only are you closer to your intuitive self, but you'll be closer to your emotional self, and some of you could have that knee-jerk response because somebody pushed that button again, and it's, you know, it's a repeat. It's like a record stuck. I don't know if we can have stuck records these days because we got DVDs and CDs, but they can get stuck. Yes, they can get stuck too, can't they? Well, CDs can. So just watch out you don't let old habits send you down that same old hole in the road, you know, inner frustrations, because you're reacting in the same way, and if you look at your history you can see that it never got you anywhere at all that was good. Now, like I say, you've got this other eye looking outwards because of where Mercury and Venus are. They're both in your sign. This is very much stimulating you to be sociable, to be maybe all singing, all dancing, but you can't. Just forget it. Actually, you need more sleep now, or you need more relaxation time now. But you will have to just pace yourself. So there's going to be this pull on you to be more supportive of others, or maybe this pull on you to connect in some way, gather information, turn your face to the world, and be very friendly and kind of open. But as a matter of fact, there's a part of you that kind of just wants to shut down and hibernate for a while. You could find things are a bit up and down over the 3rd and the 4th, but the 13th to 15th looks very promising indeed. In fact, from the 5th there could be more friendly, pretty friendly anyway, so more lucrative time maybe, and perhaps an easier time financially from the 5th onwards, or a money-making activity could be centered around a close relationship, so teamwork. Or maybe you meet somebody, or maybe it is that you and someone are pooling your resources to do something nice together. Social interaction from the 5th onwards could result in quite an ego boost for you, but also, if you play your cards right, a fatter piggy bank. And like I say, the 13th to 15th looks particularly promising on that score. Also, you've got Mercury in your sign. And that means that you will be more on the ball, more mentally sharp, and probably not have much of a problem with separating this sort of drawing in, sort of vacuuming the energies, vacuuming you inwards, or getting you at least to be very proactive behind the scenes, and maybe on behalf of others a little bit more. But Mercury here will be going direct until the 12th, so it's almost like, you know, things will be rolling forwards quite well. But then when it goes retrograde, that's when maybe others will find you kind of zoning out in the middle of a sentence, perhaps, and that wouldn't be to do with your age. That would just be because of this energy which is taking your attention elsewhere, you see, into a kind of non-verbal sort of space, which is totally, you know, the way it should be at the moment. So you might have to make more of an effort to keep up that sociability, that willingness to be connecting with others. Except for, you know, in a very low-key, maybe quite intimate sort of a way. That would be easier for you. So interactions of all kinds are going to be emphasized, and in fact, with Venus in your sign, somebody could really take a shine to you, particularly in the first part of the month. But you could be expanding your social circle, or just having to have a lot on your mind and keeping busy with things, and maybe having to keep to certain plans and schedules, or making plans and schedules. That's another way it can work. But it just might be a little bit more slow going. But then in early April, Mercury goes direct again, and that means that things start to move along more quickly. But in the meantime, between the 12th and early April, the 12th of March and early April, you maybe will have been doing some of this self-reflection and this inner work, and coming to the conclusion that it's not the external world that you've got to manipulate or have battles with so much as your internal world, and that power always will come from within. And once you have put your inner house in order, then things will just fall into place in an outer way. It's a kind of a magic, really. I wouldn't be able to explain how it works, but it is connected to the law of attraction. And as from the 24th, Mercury, as I said earlier, goes into Pisces, a sign before yours, and again, your intuition is very strong. It's great for anything going on behind the scenes, putting strings from behind the scenes. Perhaps others don't realize how much you're doing behind the scenes, and you could seem in certain company a little preoccupied, a little distracted at times. But remember, this is about a nurturing phase for you, a withdrawal phase, even though you're going to have these pulls on your energy and your time. So you need to do whatever you can. I mean, it might not be a choice. You might just find yourself in a situation that you're told you've got to put your feet up, for a while. So just realize that you've got to be kinder and gentler to yourself at this time. And also remember that you're getting help, because again, in this house of higher service, it's the worlds unseen are coming a lot closer to you. Now Mars, your ruling planet, is for several months to come in an area of damn hard work for some of you. It very likely is work that you're choosing to take on, or it can be health related. Whatever it is, you're just you can be hugely productive, and you can look back on this time when the transit's finished in July and say, look, I did all that. But try not to do it at too high a cost. Try not to do it at the cost of your well-being, of your relationship, of your just common sense, okay? Because that is a thing with Mars. It's impetuous, it's hasty, it's impatient, it wants it all now, and it doesn't seem to know when to pull up and stop, to take a break and take a rest. So that is me, really picking out the worst side of Mars, but I'm doing it because I want you to realize that Mars in the area of work or daily chores, what you've got to do every day and what you've set yourself to do every day. You make your bed and then you've got to lie on it. And maybe this is not working for a boss, maybe this is working for yourself. And people who work for themselves often have to cover far many bases than people who work for somebody else, or maybe you're taking on extra work. Maybe there's something you want to get doing right in your own backyard, so you're doing your normal job, but then you're doing all the other jobs as well. So just watch it there. And also, because Mars is rather feisty and argumentative, you may have issues with co-workers, bosses, service providers. You're trying to get something productive done and you feel like they're dragging their feet, they're wasting their time, and so on. However, on the other hand, what they provide in the way of expertise, tools, teaching you things, you staring over their shoulder and watching how they do it, their knowledge can be invaluable to you. As long as you can agree with yourself that there's some way or other that's comfortable for you to cooperate together. You yourself may be the one that is having your shoulder leaned over, and they're watching how you're doing things. Maybe you're the teacher, maybe you're the guide, the helper, and you're more the servant in daily interactions. It's altogether likely that you are. Again, maintain your integrity and know where to draw the line in the sand, and you'll be absolutely fine, but just don't overdo it. Now, if this all is centered around a health issue, then again, you've got to put the work in. You've got to, keep doing the remedies, keep doing the practices, or stick with the exercise regime. Realize that this is a time when you've got to be looking after yourself more. Now, Mars is going retrograde until April, mid-April, and really don't look for huge leaps forwards in March. Look after your basic stuff, have modest expectations, just keep things, ticking over. You could actually gain ground. It could be okay, but in a kind of a modest sort of a way. And during this slower time, maybe you've understood that you've got to get rid of some clutter from your life. You've got to make some sort of repairs or maintenance, whether that's inwardly or outwardly in your life, and perhaps stop doing the time-wasting diversions as well. Over the long transit of Mars, you certainly want to initiate things. You don't want to sit around twiddling your thumbs and feeling stuck. That would be dreadful. So if there is a situation like that going on for you, then find some project to do, or some sort of thing that you like, exercise, or something that you can do, you know. Just look and you'll find something, and if you knock on the door will open. And just get busy with them. Just get busy with the practical tasks which put you out there, which take your mind off things, and just get organised with that, but don't take on too much. Right, so I think I've lectured you enough there. Okay, so now from the 20th the way should be clearer for you to pursue what you want to do personally, and personal projects and so on, because the Sun comes into your sign. Now there is going to be a new moon conjunct Uranus and Mercury on the 22nd, and that's spanning your sign, and well, it's in your sign actually. So this could mean a surprise. This could mean a sudden leap forwards. This could mean that you've got to be very flexible, because you're thinking on your feet, whatever it's about. I can't tell you that from here, but it could give you some sort of magical insight in some way. And the way new moons work, and this new moon happens to be conjunct these two planets, is that you can feel the energy starting to come in, maybe in the days before the 22nd itself, but also over the subsequent 4 weeks from the 22nd. So watch that space there. It looks interesting. It doesn't look bad. It looks interesting. Now, I've just been speaking to you about the fast moving inner planets, but you've got to set this against the background of the slower moving outer planets, and to know what they're doing for you in your sign at the moment, just go to my website and you can read, because the copy's on there. The bones of the copy is on my website every month, so you can read that there, or indeed you can go and listen to the forecast for 2012, the whole of 2012, for your sign, and just listen to the second part of it, and that will also explain to you. But of course there will be updates month by month, and little changes. And also you might like to go and find your rising sign or your moon sign, and just take the bits of information that make sense to you. What I say about those for March will add to or subtract from what I've said here already. And I will see you next time. Take care.